Hi guys, it's Kendra. So we are in week 2 of your launch. You've already written your names list. You've ranked them. You have learned about sampling. You're starting to sample people this week, right? And now what you're going to do is you're going to schedule your 4 classes to launch the rest of the launch. Okay, so you're only going to do 4 classes in 1 week. And you can do that however you want. It can be 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, which I recommend because people have different schedules. So you could even do 2 in the same day. 1 Friday morning, 1 Friday evening, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon or evening. You can do it whatever works for you. The point of doing 4 classes in 1 week so quickly is because you are going to get people to host from those classes for the rest of your launch. So besides enrolling, your other main focus is going to be finding people who are willing to host a class. And there's no better time to ask than to add a class when they're already excited, and especially if they're enrolling. They're going to want to share this with their friends and family. Assure them that you are going to be teaching the class and that they will just do the inviting. And then you're going to teach them how to effectively do the inviting to make sure that the people come. And I offer to sample the people that they invite. I don't expect them to do that. That also helps create a relationship between you and the people that are going to attend. So that said, I wanted to look or show you from your launch guide. You all have this. Success is scheduled. So let's pretend that we've already done our 4 classes. That was the week over here. And then we're going to, these are the next 4 weeks. Maybe I've got that backwards because we're in week 2 and you're not doing your classes this week. But anyway, let's pretend that whatever happened, you've already done your 4 classes in 1 week. And now this is the result of those 4 classes. Look. You've got all of these appointments that stemmed from those 4 classes. And I'm going to also say quickly that you don't have to do classes. You can do 4 one-to-ones. That counts. The points aren't as much, but it still counts. And I personally love one-to-ones. I do both. I do classes and I do one-to-ones. And interestingly, the longer I've done doTERRA, the more I find myself doing one-to-ones. For a couple of reasons. One is it's a lot less prep work. You just find out a time that works for you and that person, and you get together. And 90% of the time they enroll right there. And if not, they enroll soon after. And so the enroll rate is really high with a one-to-one because you've got that time with just them. They're more comfortable talking to you, sharing their more personal health, issues. And they might not be as comfortable doing that in a class setting. So I love one-to-ones. And I know there are people in doTERRA who have built their entire business from one-to-ones. So that's a very viable option. Don't think that classes are the only way to go. They're not. You can do it, mix it up however you want. So after you've done a one-to-one, same thing, you're going to invite them to host a class. And I have a lot more success with finding hostesses from a one-to-one as well, because again, it's just you and that other person. And you just created this relationship and they trust you and they love what you shared and they're like, yes, come teach my friends and family. So I offer them at the class or one-to-one, if they commit to a class, then I'll give them this keychain. Let me stop the share just for a second so you can see this. I give them a keychain. Now these keychains can come with or without these vials. I will give them, because you can take this out, the keychain is in a package of its own, so you can just hand that to them. And then I will fill up, these are the 5/8 drams, the bigger ones. But I'll fill those 5/8 sample bottle up with oils and that are fairly inexpensive, but that aren't typically in the basics kits. And so like lime, TerraShield, Citrus Bliss, wild orange, some of those that are really, they smell really good, but they might not be as familiar with them and they won't get them in their 10 basic oil kits. So I give every person that comes to their class, they get a sample they get one of those vials. of oil. Okay, so let's go back to this sheet here. So this is just an example, but you guys, I want you to look at this whole page. Everything on it I think is so cool. Look at this, break it down. 15 enrollments, 200 PV average makes you elite. So break it down. It doesn't have to be really complicated. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. That is so true. I have had lots of classes where nobody showed up. That's just it. That's normal in doTERRA. We can definitely learn from those experiences so that that doesn't happen, you know, more times than not. But then I've had great classes where lots of people have come, and usually it's because my preparation was stellar. So just know, if you've had classes and you've been, you know, so prepared, and you've had the food ready and nobody comes, you're so not alone in that. You're in good company, and we feel your pain. So don't get discouraged. Just pick yourself up. If you have to cry, cry. Pick yourself up though, and don't give up, because the only thing that is going to stop you in this business is if you quit. Just don't quit. Okay, so look at this again. During your launch month, invite 45 people to attend the class. So you've got your hundreds names list. Are we expecting you to call all 100 people? No. That's just a working list for you to continue to work off from and add to as needed. So just invite 45 people to a class during this launch, okay? Schedule 3 classes or 15 one-to-ones or a combination or 4 classes, whatever, to get your 15 enrollments. And then set the time to invest in your business and ask yourself and schedule who needs a natural solutions intro to oils, who needs a follow-up to enroll, who needs a lifestyle overview, who needs a business overview, and who is ready to host. So we're going to go over all of those in more detail. This week is just about sampling and getting your schedule, your 4 classes scheduled, okay? So this week is prepare. Remember, we talked about, we're going to be discussing the launch or the strengths guide for builders. So this week, I want you to go to this page and look at the different options for your strengths and see what ones speak to you in this preparation period of the launch. And then bring those to the call tomorrow night. I will be leading the call, and if you have any questions, please post them in the group so that we can have a little bit of a heads up before the call. And we'll see you tomorrow.